There's nothing in the world that Karen Putz loves more than barefoot water skiing. Which is odd, because she probably should hate it, after what happened when she was just a teen.
And as soon as I hit the water, I mean, it was a hard slam. I couldn't do a normal tuck and roll. I just slammed into the water. I was like, oh, wow. So I climbed into the boat, and I'm like, I can't hear anything. And my friends are all talking to me, and I'm like, there's no sound coming out at all.
So she waited. Surely it would return over time. But days turned into weeks.
And I just started crying. That's the day that I realized, okay, maybe this hearing isn't going to come back.
Karen was completely deaf. Doctors left no hope of even the smallest recovery. She was devastated and terrified. But instead of hiding away, she made an important decision. She would go to college. Her mom wasn't so sure.
How are you going to hear your teachers? Like, I don't know. And she's like, well, you can stay home. You get a job, you can live here. And I thought, you know, if I do that, I'm never going to get out of the house. I was like, no, I have to do this. If I don't walk through this door, I'm not going to live my life.
But living in silence was far more difficult than she imagined.
But it wasn't easy. For 6 months, all I did was cry every night. You know, I struggled during the day to try to understand people who were hearing, to try to understand these hands that were flying around in the dorm. I mean, that's like being dropped in the middle of Japan and, you know, here you are, you're gonna live with this Japanese language. It was like, I didn't understand a word.
She did everything she could to hide her deafness. She wore her hair over her ears, avoided people she didn't know, stayed away from social situations, until one day when she simply had enough.
For the first time in my life, I put my hair up in a ponytail. I'd never done that. I'd never, ever shown my hearing aid in public till that point. Got on the bus, and I thought everybody was staring at me. You know, it was an adjustment. But that's the day that I accepted myself, became a deaf person. A whole new life opened up. I learned ASL. I met my husband. We got married. We have 3 deaf and hard of hearing kids. And life has been good. It's been very good since then.
Life has been good, but it hasn't been perfect. Something was missing.
The one thing that bugged me was that I gave up my passion. You know, the one thing in life that gave me so much happiness, I thought I was done doing that.
Until one day she saw a news feature about Judy Myers, who at 68 is the oldest competitive barefoot skier in the world. Karen contacted Judy. She invited her to visit the World Barefoot Center. Karen wasn't sure, but hoped she was ready for that next big step.
What am I doing here?
For the first time in 25 years, she was about to barefoot.
Here we go, everybody. Now the first try, get out there, put my feet in the water, and I felt 17 again. You know, I mean, the years literally melted away. It was like, oh my gosh, the same old feelings, the passion, I can't explain it. So you put your feet on the water and you come alive.
It was a feeling that her family and friends did not share.
Everyone was like, you're gonna hurt yourself. You can't do this. You know, and basically they said, you're too old. That's exactly what one family member said to me. You're too old to be thinking about this. Give it up. So, you know, when you're surrounded with people who think you can't, you think you can't. Until you find somebody who can, then your whole world starts opening up. So when you surround yourself with people who can, then you have that same attitude, you adopt that same attitude.
Even when you wipe out. So, between Judy Myers and barefoot superstar Keith St. Ange, who runs the center, Karen's feet were in pretty good hands.
Oh, Keith, what did I do wrong?
Put your ankles out in front of you. Feet way out in front of those knees, and you just jabbed it in. That's what we call the Freddie Flintstone when they put the brakes on in their car. When those heels dig in, we go for a ride. When she's on the water, the smile just glows. She's just always, always happy. When I go back to get her, she's just like a little puppy dog in the water looking up at me going, okay, what do I gotta do next? Always. Yeah, it's good.
I have role models in my life that I didn't have before who are living the life, who are breaking the boundaries. Meeting Judy was very pivotal in my life because once I met her and I saw all that she could do, I saw that life ahead of me is wide open. You know, and when you surround yourself with people who are doing these things, you get this feeling that, hey, I can do it too.
Funny thing about inspiration, sometimes when you provide it for others, it can come right back at you.
What does it feel like that Karen, a total stranger, turned her life around because she saw you?
That brings tears to my eyes.
Why?
Because to help somebody like that, or to inspire somebody like that, and to get them back to their passion, and to get them to see they can do it again, I think that's a real aha moment.
Just from seeing a clip of you.
Yeah, you got me crying. Absolutely, and that's real inspiring for me when that happens.
You realize the power that you have to change somebody's life.
Yeah, and as a teacher, I changed a lot of lives, but this was one of the biggest, one of the absolute biggest.
You gave her her world back.
Absolutely.
Now, Karen realizes skiing is not the most important thing in her world, but isn't it amazing how different your entire outlook can be when you can do what you love?
I think when you find your passion, when it's something that you really, really want to do in life, you are happy. I mean, the sport that brought me both happiness and sadness was filling me with happiness yet again. It's like, wow. You know, that's what happens when you find your passion.